All right, welcome back for another match breakdown. So we're going to be breaking down a match from a tournament I played a couple of weekends ago. So this was a team tournament. It was a 4-5 plus. This was a pretty good team right here. We matched up pretty well with them. So we'll just jump straight into it. So this is me right here. This is my partner, and then the other team is on the other side here. So we'll go ahead and jump straight in. Okay, so a couple things here. So this was more my mistake, the reason we lost this point. So right here, I'll try to kind of speed it up off the bounce. Not really. I don't really commit to a speed up or a drop. It's just kind of something in between, and I put it right here in his strike zone in the middle, and he's able to punch it at my partner, and he's not necessarily ready for it, and he's able to just counter it right back at my partner, and we get the lose the point right there. Yep. So I get a good speed up there and able to kind of take them off guard. There we go. So yeah, that was a good setup here. So my partner hits a good drop right here in the middle. He pops it up. I'm able to just put it away and get the easy pop up there for the easy point. Yep. So this is going to be a big theme in this game that you're going to see here. So my partner here, he has a tendency to kind of roll this drop in cross court. So that's going to be a big thing you'll see throughout this game is a lot of cross court drops. Notice here too, he's also kind of falling backwards as he hits this shot. So that's going to be another thing to note. A lot of these balls are coming in pretty deep, and he'll have to take that step back, kind of falling backwards as he hits it. So a lot of these balls will get popped up as you see throughout the game. But yeah, watch it here. So as he hits that drop, I'm basically watching this guy's body language and seeing like, all right, what's he about to do? So he's here. I know he's not about to attack from this position, so I can be very, very aggressive up here. I know that he can only basically drop it in right here, and then if he wants to try and do anything aggressively, he has to come into this part of the court here. So I'm waiting on a ball that's going to get popped up somewhere in the middle or potentially cross court. And then he gives me a ball. Now, it is below the net. I probably should not have sped this ball up, but I chose to anyway. I basically speed it up at this guy's body, and I kind of jam him, and I'm able to get the point out of that. But at higher levels, there's going to be a lot of players that are ready to just counter and punch that back. So I did get a little lucky there, but it worked out. Okay, yeah, so he's trying to drive it deep in the corner there, so that's not really a smart shot. The smart play would have been to drive it in the middle slightly towards the returning player there. It's just going deep in the corner there. It's a very high risk, high reward shot. So, yep. So right there. So again, he's kind of off balance. He's way out wide here, and he's trying to hit it cross court to this other wide part of the court. And he speeds it up here. I was able to, get a good counter on that, but I left it a little bit high, and then he was able to kind of punch it at my partner there, and he ended up missing it. Yep, and then we just get a little unlucky there. He speeds it up and gets it off the net cord, and it just throws off our timing. Yep. So there we go. Get a good speed up at the body, and then a pop up and a put away there. Yep. So right there. So we'll see what happened. So I get a kind of a short return. He's dropping it in cross court, and then he gets a good dink, and then leaves it a little high. Now that ball, it might have been going out. It's kind of hard to judge, but he's just not able to get in front of it in time and ends up sending it way out there. Then get a little lucky there. Both of them ended up just watching that ball. Yeah, that's good. So right here, so we'll see. So he's already off balance, kind of hitting this wide dink. He pushes it up the line, and then I see him. He slowly starts shifting back to the middle. So I actually kind of fake him out and go back up the line and catch him off balance. And then he misses the easy dink there. But normally, I probably would have pushed that back to the middle. But because I wasn't necessarily worried about this guy hitting an Ernie on me, I did feel safer pushing it back up the line there. I just have to be careful about how high I'm leaving that ball. Yeah, that was perfect execution there. So right here, we'll back that up. So I hit a good deep serve right in the middle. He's kind of off balance, reaching for this ball. He's not able to hit it cleanly. We get a good ball kind of here in the midcourt that we can softly drop in, get ourselves to the line. He's stretching out, off balance again, and then it's an easy put away. So like that. So I'm actually on the third shot. I usually prefer a drive unless I hit a really good serve, and then they kind of softly float that ball in the midcourt where I can come in and roll it. So that's kind of my determiner of whether I hit a drive or a drop, is like if they hit this soft return in the midcourt, I'm not going to try and drive that ball. They're basically giving me a free ticket to the kitchen, so I'm going to drop it in, force them to play it out, and then sometimes you'll get a pop-up like that. Yep. So this was a big mistake right here that I made. So I'm serving here, and then look what I do here. I basically plant my feet at the baseline, and then when I see this ball coming in, it's coming in deep right here at the baseline. So now I'm having to backpedal, and I'm on my back foot trying to rip a drive, and it doesn't go anywhere. It goes right into the net. So what I should have done, I should have served at the baseline, but then after I serve, take a couple of feet back, and that'll give me enough space to make sure that my momentum is shifting forward as I hit the ball, not falling backwards. Yep, so that was a good play there. So a couple things to note here. So firstly, again, this was kind of a softer ball in the midcourt here. I probably should have just rolled it in and dropped it kind of somewhere in the middle or towards this guy coming in, but I decided to speed this ball up. I'll leave it a little high, but fortunately, I'm pretty good at resetting the ball here, so I do reset this ball. I don't try to speed it up again and match his power. We're basically already at the line here, so I'm just going to neutralize it, and then we're going to play it out from there. And then he does try to speed that up, though, and then, yeah, we're able to kind of punch it back at him and get the point. Yep. So, again, right here, so I just kind of drop this ball in like I should, kind of towards the middle. And I do get a good setup on this. He does give me a ball that I can attack. Unfortunately, it was just a little too further out than what I would have liked, and I'm kind of stretched out trying to attack that ball, and I end up missing it into the net. But otherwise, it was a perfectly executed setup. I just kind of missed the roll volley there. Yep. So right there, so there's an example of when that cross court drop backfires. So this guy over here, he tries to hit this cross court drop, ends up leaving it way too high. I'm able to get a good two-hand backhand slap on it, put it back at his feet, and then I'm able to put the ball away. So that's an example of when it's not always good to hit that cross court drop. Yep. So yeah, same thing here. So he hits a pretty good serve, but look what he does. He actually steps into the court by a foot or two, and then watch when this ball comes back deep, he's basically backpedaling on his back foot. He's almost at the fence by the time he makes contact with this ball. And so he actually does hit a pretty good drop here, but now he's way back here. This guy, he's like, all right, I got all the space. I'm just going to hit this drop right here and force either me to cover or for him to sprint all the way up to the ball, which is exactly what happens. And when you're sprinting up to the ball like that, most of the time you're not going to hit this clean drop. You're going to get to the ball, but you might pop it up, and that's exactly what happens, and then puts me in a bad position, and we end up losing the point like that. So just something to be cautious of there, stepping into the court after a serve or on a return. Or I should say on the return, hugging too closely to the baseline there. Yep. So right here, let's see. So on this one, so hit a decent serve, decent drop here, and then he's not fully established. He doesn't split step in time, and so when he gets that ball kind of wide at his left foot, he's not fully ready for it and ends up just kind of missing it there. He does try to push it a little bit further cross court than what he probably should. Probably should have just reset that to the middle there, but just ends up missing it. Yep, so it was a good sequence there, some good resets. Missed the reset there. Yep, so once again, right here. So hits a really good serve deep right there in the middle. And then, so he's way out wide here. He's basically on the outside of the court here, hitting a drop, and he's trying to hit it way over here cross court, trying to almost win the point right here. It's like the best place to go would have just been to the middle instead of trying to take this sharp angle. So again, it's a very high risk, high reward shot. If you hit it cleanly and it gets in, and you're able to put this person off balance, it's a great shot. But again, it's kind of a coin flip. Most people cannot hit that shot consistently. They're going to either pop it up and give this person an easy put away, or they're going to miss it into the net, or potentially even set this person up for an ATP. So a lot of things can go wrong, especially when you're like really pushed out wide like that. So again, when you're that far out wide, just reset it to the middle and neutralize the point. There's no reason to try and do something heroic here on this cross court drop there. Yep. So yeah, once again here, so hits a kind of a higher drop, doesn't get fully set, and then now he's backpedaling, trying to hit another drop, and then just misses it into the net. Yep. So yeah, some of those balls I probably should have reset a little bit more toward the middle, but I was fine putting some pressure on my opponent there cross court. Yep, so here's an interesting play. I don't do this a lot, but so he hits a net cord there, so I see them closing in, so I'm like, all right, let me just push this back, kind of cross court here, and then we get into a dink rally. So he pushes me out back wide, and then I don't necessarily trust this guy's forehand, so I'm going to actually reset it up the line here, kind of push him off balance because he was cheating over a little bit to the middle. So see here, I didn't see him as an Ernie threat, so I was like, let me just go up the line here, kind of catch him off balance, and then I'm able to get kind of a higher ball. I speed this up with two hands, which is something I've been trying to add in recently, a two-hand speed up, and then I'm able to counter it with my forehand and put the ball away there. But again, not a shot I would hit every time, especially against higher level players. I don't usually like to do that kind of drop or that dink up the line. I was able to kind of float that in perfectly, but a lot of times I would reset that ball to the middle. Yep, so right there, I did leave that ball a little high, and it looks like he just kind of missed it. I don't know if it was his wrist angle or something, but got a little lucky there. Yeah, and then right here is a really unfortunate point. So let's see, let's break it down. All right, so we get a good serve, yep, and then once again he's steps into the court a little bit. He's having to backpedal to hit this drop, leaves it a little high, and then because I was there, I was able to just kind of softly reset the ball. I did leave it a little high there, but then he gives me something soft that I can work with. So I come in, reset it, neutralize the point. We get up to the line. Then we're dinking it out. So this guy here, I did not anticipate that he was going to speed this ball up right here. I mean, look where he's basically speeding it up from way below the net. So I did not anticipate that this was going to happen. So he kind of catches me off balance. I get jammed a little bit, but I am able to at least reset it. And then he speeds it up again and then really puts us off balance. Now we're having to reset balls. Luckily, I was able to get that ball in, but now we're in a situation where, let's see here. So he's pushed way back here. We're both off balance, and then he just kind of drops in this shot here, and unfortunately, he slides into the net, and then we lose the point. And I didn't even realize it, so I kept playing it out. But overall, a really good exchange. Just unfortunate that he landed in the net there, and we lost the point. Yep. So yeah, a couple things here I want to note. So a little bit of a higher drop, and then he steps in a little too far, and then once again gets pushed back on his back foot trying to hit this drop shot. I don't know why I sped this ball up, but I took the chance and left it a little high. He did punch it back at my feet, but I was able to kind of short hop and just reset the ball, neutralize the point. Now I'm way off stretched out here, so I do just try to push this ball back to the middle. I don't try to do anything fancy, just reset the points, and then he pushes it back out cross court. He leaves it a little high, so this is, again, like I mentioned earlier, going up the line like that. It's a high risk, high reward shot because he leaves it way higher than he should. This guy, he's able to just punch it with his forehand right at my feet, and there's nothing I can do. So yep. And then right there, so I kind of cheat over and poach my opponent's or my partner's ball, I should say. And I left it a little high, but I was able to kind of win the volley exchange there, get some balls at their feet, and then win the point that way. But that's always my objective. Anytime I get a volley, I'm trying to put it straight at their feet. That's going to usually allow me to get a pop-up that I can put away and win the point right there. Yeah, so I left that ball a little high there. So I kind of try to put it at his feet, and then I try to punch it back to the middle, but I'll leave it a little higher than I should. Probably should have pushed it more to this guy over here, but I ended up missing the volley right there. Okay, so that was a good exchange right there. So I want to point a couple things out. So hits a good serve, decent return, and then so I see that this guy, he's already kind of poaching up, and he hits a really good drop. So I'm like, all right, I basically have to go cross court and kind of concede, let this guy come in, and then push this guy out wide. So that's what I do. And then he gets kind of a drop shot right here. He leaves it a little higher than he probably would have liked. And I'm able to just kind of punch this volley right down the middle, catch this guy off guard. And then he gives me a pop-up that I can put away pretty easily there. Yep, and then he's just not set, trying to drop that ball in and just misses the dink. Yeah, once again, tries to go wide cross court when he doesn't necessarily, he's not necessarily getting in front of the ball. So like right here, he's like kind of lunging off to the side instead of getting more in front of the ball. And when you try to do that and go cross court at the same time, a lot of times you will miss that ball into the net. So when in doubt, just go to the middle. Yeah, and I left that reset a little higher, and then he punches it at my partner's feet. So yeah, once again, right here, high risk, high reward. Get that cross court drop, and he tries to take it out of the air and misses it, but I don't think he was fully set there. So let's see. Yeah, he's not fully established. He's still running in. So that was a good shot. But again, it's like if that ball was a little bit higher and he would have got a little bit more of a clean contact on it, you know, he could have easily punched that back at our feet. So. Yeah, and then right there, I just missed the easy dink. I'm trying to go way out wide and miss it. So just another example of when you should go to the middle. Yep. Yep, so right there. So this guy tries to speed it up from way down here below his knees. I kind of anticipated that that might happen, which is why I was kind of cheating towards the middle here. And I'm able to get a good clean counter on that. Yeah, and then once again, he's trying to go way out wide, just misses the ball there. Should have been an easy drop in to the middle, but then misses it. And then, yeah, right here again. So see, so that ball was actually close enough to him. He could have took that out of the air. So watch it here. So about right where he's standing, that's where the ball actually lands. So he could have easily taken this ball, you know, out of the air in front of his body. Instead, he kind of chooses to fall back, and then once again he's kind of on his back foot, falling backwards, trying to hit this drop, and misses it into the net. So that's a big theme from this game is falling backwards while trying to hit a drop shot. Yep, and just a bad speed up there, just trying to speed it up from below the net, not getting enough topspin on it. And then that was a bad speed up on my part. I got a little lucky and took him off guard, but not a good decision there. Yeah, I tried to poach that ball, just didn't get enough flick under that. Yep, and then, yeah. So he actually, he got the ATP, but he ended up, the other guy missed the ball anyway, so. Yeah, just a bad kind of flick shot right there. And got a little lucky, so that was a good play. He definitely made the right choice to return it to me. I'm not fully set. I'm kind of off balance. Got a little jam there, but just got lucky on that net cord there. Yeah, some good resets there. And then just unlucky there, just misses the easy dink. And then they miss a serve right after. Yep. And then right here I get the Ernie. So again, this is a perfect example of high risk, high reward. He's able to get a pretty good look on this cross court drop. So this guy returned the ball a little short right here in the midcourt. So that's when you can step in and take this angle. Now again, got a little lucky here. This guy definitely set me up for a good Ernie, and I'm able to put it away. But he could have easily, missed that ball a little high or even set him up for an ATP. So lots of possibilities that can happen when you take that really wide cross court ball. It's not a guaranteed winner every shot. It's really a coin flip. Like, you're gonna make as many mistakes on that shot as you are, hitting winners. So just be cautious of that shot and know that there's a lot of possibilities that can happen. And then just like that right there, so he missed it out wide. So for every Ernie you get on that shot, you're going to miss an easy unforced error, just trying to hit it too wide, basically. So, yep, and then get an easy put away. Yep. So a couple things happen here, so let's break it down. So we get a good serve, and then once again he's trying to go cross court out here. He leaves it a little high, he kind of resets it in the air, and then he goes up the line, which I wasn't expecting. And then kind of puts me off balance. I try to speed this ball up, and then he kind of just punches it back softly. So we are able to reset that ball, and then he goes back out cross court. Now he's off balance, pops this ball up, and then puts us both in a situation where we're just getting balls at our feet. So, lots of things happening there. Again, that cross court shot, high risk, high reward, and then right there, we took a gamble and ended up losing the point. So, yep, hit a bad reset right there. Yep, another bad speed up. Yep, so once again, right here, so see, yeah, not falling backwards as much on that one, but yeah, just not a good drop either. Yep, and then that's the end of the game right there. So that was a good sequence there. So a couple things to note on this last point here. So I kind of made the mistake. I stepped in just a little too much, and then he had a good return deep at my feet. So I'm actually kind of falling backwards hitting this drive, and I ended up leaving it a little higher than I would have liked. But he was able to give me something a little softer that I could come in and drop. And then he hits a really good cross-court slice drop there right at his feet, and then gives me an easy ball that I can pop up and then put away, and then we win the game right there. So that was the end. Couple of key takeaways from this game. Number one, making sure that we're not falling backwards hitting balls, and a lot of that starts with our positioning on the court. Are we stepping too far in after the serve, or are we too close to the line returning the serve? Those types of things are going to determine is our momentum shifting forward as we're hitting a drive or a drop, or are we falling backwards on our back foot? So that was kind of one of the main key takeaways from me. Also, another thing is just overall IQ and decision making. knowing which shot to hit and when. So like if I get pulled out wide, I'm not going to try, and I'm off balance especially, I'm not going to try and hit this heroic cross-court winner. I'm going to just reset that ball to the middle and neutralize it, play it out from there, and then look for opportunities to create more angles. So don't take the angle unless you get a good opportunity. You know, again, if you're off balance and you're on your back foot, that's not a great time to try and do something heroic. Just neutralize the point. You're going to get your opportunity if you're patient enough. So just wait it out and play out the point from there. But let me know your guys' thoughts. If you learned anything from this gameplay breakdown, let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, go ahead and subscribe. I plan on doing more of these, just dropping videos like this every couple of weeks, just to give you guys some of the way I think about games and how I break things down. So see you guys in the next video.